Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kayfabe or Die. I'm the Giz, and joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, Johnny
Aloha,
Danger Deadly.
everybody.
Yes, welcome to the show, where once again we have to say it has been a bizarre week
It's been quite
in
a
the
crappy
world
week
of
in the world
wrestling.
of wrestling, to be bluntly honest.
Yeah, it has. It has. Do we want to get into that now, or do we want to do
I suppose
NXT
we can
review
talk
and then
about
get
it a
into
little
it?
bit, because myself and our other cohort in wrestling kind of discussed it more in depth on Wednesday. So
Yeah, for those that don't know, due to the current situation, what with the world going into lockdown, certain people hit panic buttons and tried to make arrangements so that their businesses could be deemed essential in this time of crisis. And as a result, money was paid out and back deals were done.
Don't forget, by presidential decree.
By presidential decree, because they're buds. And back-end deals were worked out and all the rest of it, and everything was good to go. And then panic buttons were hit because they kind of went, well, we're gonna shut down this thing that wasn't going to make us any money, and that we lied to everybody and told didn't have anything to do with this other operation over here. And oopsie doodle, it seems they've found out. So let's create a huge diversion so that we don't have to talk about that next week at the meeting by firing all these people that we actually don't really need to. That pretty much sums things up.
That's pretty much the synopsis of it. Yeah, a lot of really good wrestlers and a lot of really good production staff, and everyone just got let go or furloughed, essentially.
Yeah,
and I mean the thing with the furlough is like you're either essentially like being suspended without pay, or with minimal pay, with option to bring you back at a later date.
I mean, like I can't. I get what the game plan is here. You know, I mean, they're WWE. They're the ones that make the stars. They're the household name. They can always come back after all this is fucking. I
won't lie to you. I personally think his game plan is, I need something to talk to the investors about that isn't this XFL debacle.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong, but don't forget that this is a man who, if he can kill 4 or 5 different birds with one very well precise stone, he will try to do that. So in my mind, this is something that you're absolutely right. That's why he's doing it. But long term, he's doing it because WWE is the household name. They're the ones that make the stars. They're the ones that can theoretically come back and just go, here's the brand new crop of whatever, or here's all the superstars that you remember that we already had at this level. So now we can bring in all this talent like back in the 80s and have them be squashes for a while.
The issue there is, and you mentioned it a couple of times, is are they going to want to come back? Because I mean, like, I have been reading that quite a lot of these people have looked for releases at some stage or another on the wrestling side of things anyway. So some of them are semi-happy, but it's a really bad time to be dropping people out.
As I said, I feel this is how Vince has rationalized in his mind his strategy after getting through this current butt fucking that he appears to have gotten himself into. And that is to basically be the megalomaniac, turn around and go, we're the ones that make all the names, we're the ones that create all the talent, so we can bring in whoever the fuck we want, and we can make them stars through this process that we've done before. And in the meanwhile, we can just hire whatever people are just at a certain level and looking for jobs because they haven't gotten it anywhere else, and they can be the squash talent to get these guys over. And if they do a good enough job, maybe we'll bring them back. Like I said, kind of looking back at it like they did in the 80s and the early 90s to a way, whereby if somebody came in and had something that Vince thought might be a spark of potential, then they got elevated from more than just being Hulk Hogan's fucking punching bag that week.
There's also a possibility that, like, considering with the loss of money from XFL and everything, and as we discussed, I'm sure there's going to be some very interested investors that are going to want to talk about that. But a lot of it as well could be that now with that big hit and people not having the same trust level with Vince, they could be like, look, do you not think it's lunacy paying $4.5 million for all these wrestlers that you actually have no intention of putting on TV? You're just keeping them on contract to be a petty son of a bitch.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if after this meeting you get one or two or maybe a few of these investors who just go, you know what? We like the gig. We like the business. We don't like what you just did. We don't like how you're handling it. So we're going to take all our money and we're going to return it to the 70s and 80s by setting up our groups over here. And we're going to get back in the crowds. And we're going to get the talent that no longer wants to work with you because they've lost all faith in you.
They've lost a lot of faith because of all of this. Like, the whole reason he has done the liquidation and bankruptcy deal on XFL is because it gets him out of paying for a lot of contract stuff and rental and things like that were supposed to be paid for the next whatever.
Yeah, his reputation in regards business took a major hit in that, and now his reputation in regards his world, the wrestling industry, is going to take a massive hit because of how he's just treated a vast quantity of his own talent, which, by the way, he had deliberately held on to just so that they could not be seen elsewhere and potentially sign deals that would see them still employed, because as we know, AEW are handling things very differently. Stardom, New Japan, all the other, like, this is the only company that has basically turned around and decided to eviscerate itself for the sake of profit margins.
If you take Ring of Honor, for instance, Ring of Honor have been honoring contracts, as in paying wrestlers for gigs that are 100% not happening, but they were booked for it and you were supposed to get paid for it. So here,
all the different Japanese promotions have actually banded together to approach the government together to say, look, here's the situation. All of our people need help. Give us a hand here for the sake of all the talent that that's the entire, and we're talking about companies that run against each other, all coming together and going, this is the situation. None of us will survive.
I have to say, Dave
happen.
Meltzer did a great job on Wednesday, where, like, he went through all of the social welfare schemes and everything, and found out what ones wrestlers would need to apply for, and had everything laid out. So they call him Big Daddy Dave for a reason. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He watches out.
Things like this, and we are seeing, and it's not just the wrestling community. We are seeing things like this happening in all other forms of business and entertainment, whereby people are legitimately, now you're always going to get a few fucktards, but for the most part, people are legitimately helping each other out, trying to help each other find new ways of surviving this, new ways of moving forward. If employment or something, if a job has gone sideways, whatever, and to see a world community, the wrestling world community as a whole, in their own individual ways, pulling together, like I said, the Japanese nation of wrestlers basically getting together. You have Dave Meltzer doing this. You have in Europe, you have thanks to Wrestle Talk and a few other lads, you have the shows that they put on for the sake.
European wrestlers all banded together and have done no crowd shows and things like that, with donations coming in through YouTube and things like that. Or if you want to be able to help some wrestlers, if you go on to like Pro Wrestling Tees or any of their personal websites and stuff, buy some clobber, buy some gear. Now's the time to go support your favorite wrestler, buy his t-shirt, do something like that.
I hear Shivani continuously, like the lads, fair dues to them, when whoever's doing commentary on AEW, they're plugging Jim Ross's book. He's not around. They're giving him
he was around
credit.
This week.
Lads that aren't there, they're giving credit.
Technically,
yes, I
would assume they sent him the match and he voiced it over from home. Yeah. Most likely. But the point still remains, that is showing how people are doing what they can to help each other out in regards recognition of the talent that isn't able to be on screen or maybe isn't able to perform themselves, and ways that people can help, ways these people can survive. And yet the guy who wanted to be the monopoly on this industry, who in his own mind is the be all and end all, has just basically gone, y'all.
Well, it's my ball and I'm going to stick a knife in it. Yeah, it's my ball and I'm going to stick a knife in it, because not because I need to, but because I want my profit margin to remain at a certain level so that I can, distract all the people from
I'm
me
going to
when
have
I
to say we're
hoodwink them.
probably going to have to start moving into NXT because we're like nearly at the 10-minute mark there.
Yeah.
So, but needless to say, a lot of crazy shizzle has gone down in the wrestling world on the business and financing and HR side of things. And some very interesting developments. Some very interesting developments on the on live shows as well, because we had a couple of NXT call-ups or appearances or whatever you want to debuts. Actually, that's a very appropriate debuts.
What in regards NXT or in regards main roster and NXT talent going up there?
Both.
Well, both, really, I suppose.
Both.
Yeah. Well, interesting enough, NXT this week started off with a storyline that I feel should have been running in NXT UK, but given the circumstances, they went frack it.
Yeah, I feel this was definitely going to happen at the TakeOver Dublin event, I think.
Or this would have been the build to it, which we would have seen on NXT
a bit of both,
UK.
I'd imagine. But
Finn Balor. Well, in this particular match, I would say it would have been a build. But Finn Balor once again going up against a member of Imperium, this time taking on Fabian Eichner, as accompanied by Marcel Barthel. And this was solid. This was solid. The marks left on Balor on Barthel.
This was exactly what you would hope for. It's exactly what you would expect out of these two guys as well. Do you know what I mean? It was very hard hitting, very high octane, not a lot of slow spots.
I like Barthel's little interventions on the outside every now and then, the sneaky ones. And to be fair, Balor putting Barthel through the barricade at one point, which was great.
With a rocket drop kick from God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Shotgun drop kick.
One of the photos you sent. One of the photos you sent me of that was brilliant. Like, he literally looks like he was doing the Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat thing. Very good.
Unfortunately, none of the photos worked because I just couldn't get the hang of the thing.
Wait, hang on. I have the NXT logo up there. You keep talking. I'm pretty sure I can find that photo while we talk.
But good solid match. Has he gone up against Barthel in a singles match yet? I know he did.
No,
Wolf,
he had
right.
Wolf, and he hammered Barthel around due to some outside snaky interference by Barthel during a match at one stage. But I don't think they've had it official.
In that case, I imagine. Either next week or the week after, we'll probably see Finn Balor going up against Marcel Barthel. As like I said, it's clear he's working his way through Imperium, which is why I feel this is probably the build that they would have had in NXT UK, like a weekly kind of gauntlet, so that he can be worthy of facing El Rey General.
That's what they call him. Yeah. Oh, that's gone there. There we go. We'll just leave that there for a second. That's Finn Balor doing his best, channeling his inner Liu Kang. For any of our video watchers, obviously the radio show people can't see this, but go look at our YouTube page. And you can see it then. It's very Liu Kang-ish. Anyway, we'll get rid of that now. Moving swiftly on, after that we had... hang on, we haven't even said who won the match, or are we even going to talk? We'll let them guess. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Fair enough, fine. Okay, up next, Aaliyah up next we had the Charlotte promo.
I murdered everybody in NXT, and then I went up to the main roster on SmackDown, and I murdered everybody there. And then, Kel Surprise, I went over to Raw, and I murdered everybody there. And then they brought in some bitch from MMA, and I hammered the shizzle out of her. Although, neglecting to mention that I actually lost the match. I just beat her up afterwards with a chair. But anyway, and then now I'm hearing that all of the ladies in NXT are the best in the business, and they kind of proved that at Survivor Series, and now I'm here to go through them again. What a bitch.
So she's a babyface, by the way. She's a babyface, which is why she won the belt at WrestleMania, because Vince wanted only baby faces to win. So Charlotte
Flair, a babyface like her father.
Face,
she's a babyface like her father before that.
Except that Rick Goddamn Flair has even admitted he hated being a babyface because
he's not a babyface. He was never.
He's not.
He was never a babyface. He never changed his behavior. He just stayed being Rick. It's just people were like, "I love Rick."
Well, he tried to be a babyface for a little while and it just didn't work. But anyway, so she acknowledges the fact that Io Shirai has won the ladder match thingy, and then she decides that she's going to be generous and give Mia Yim a match.
Mia Yim was my first match in NXT when she dressed like a ninja cheerleader. that's
anyway,
when I'd forgotten about her old ring gear. So that was literally first time I saw her. I was there. I was like, ninja ring, yeah, ninja cheerleader. That's the vibe I'm getting. She had the pigtails, but she was also doing ninja shit.
Okay, yeah, that can. Okay. Anyway, we had William Regal briefly announce even that due to Jordan Devlin being stuck in Ireland, there was going to be an interim champion crowned via a round robin tournament, including Drake Maverick, despite his tearful kind of like farewells. I got fired.
I'm living in a world of kayfabe now, where I genuinely hope his words meant that if I win this championship, because obviously if he wins the championship, he's not going anywhere. He has a belt. Unless he,
they could have to do another tournament for an interim champion.
Like a punk on it, like, you know, just like, oh, I got the belt now. Bye bye. No.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
No, you can't do that. Yeah, I can.
Actually, I think you'll find before Punk there was Mike Awesome, who they had to get Taz and sick him on. That was great. Yeah. Mike Awesome, who did not redeem himself for nearly a decade until finally Joey Styles forgave him after the amazing match against fucking Tanaka. That was, you can actually hear the moment.
I remember the Taz match where it was just like, he's not giving up the belt. You go get that belt back. Okay.
Sick him. Sick him.
He flew through the air with the greatest
of off you. What?
Awesome. He crashed on his face and he broke all his knees. Mike Awesome.
He didn't break his knees. He did crash on his face.
It's mostly for rhyming purposes, Giz. I came up with that song off the top of my head.
Anyway, back to action matches style. Aaliyah is up against Xia Li. Aaliyah, who decided to jump Xia Li before the ladder match, and then decided, even stupidly, to admit it and boast about it on social media. Quick tip, Xia Li used to legit beat up gang members in her home because she had to. So now that's just... So, yeah, Aaliyah thinking it's a bright idea after Xia accidentally broke her nose one time.
Xia Li do sit-ups with Sheamus sitting on her back. Or sorry, not sit-ups, push-ups with Sheamus sitting on her back. Legit. If you watch his Celtic Warrior workouts, look up the Xia Li workout. She is a feckin' machine. She is a machine.
Yeah. And she came down to the ring looking like she was going to try and twist Aaliyah's
She didn't twist
head
it.
off.
She just kicked it really hard, repeatedly.
Normally Xia Li does this elaborate ring entrance. This time she came out, waved the fan wands, threw it down and went, "I'm a killer," and ran to the ring. It's just like, oh God. Yeah.
Buck Cherry playing in the background. Hey, you crazy bitch.
Oh. To be fair, Aaliyah would pull a very nice heel sneaky routine, hiding behind the ref in order to get in a couple of kicks, and got the advantage for a little bit, and then she done ticked Xia off, and that was the end of it.
Many kicks. Aaliyah die. Many kicks
and punches and a spinning kick to the back, and it was just down and out, and Xia had her nice piece of vengeance.
Yep.
And that was great fun.
Next up we had Matt Riddle in a promo where he is informing us he's going to have a tag match, but Dunn is stuck in England, so I'm going to have to find a friend.
Yeah. After that, I think we had the El Hero del Fantasma promo, because El Hero del Fantasma is going to be one of the entrants for the Cruiserweight Championship, and clearly he was signed before everything went to shit, and they were going to give him a great big build, and now this is about as good as they can do to bring him in. But he is legendary, as was his father in Mexico, so I imagine all the lucha is going to be bust out during that tournament. So that could be interesting. I think, after that we had Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Akira Tozawa in the first...
You have to say it like Pac. I just like Tozawa. Ever since their feud, I was just like, well, that's how you say his name now. Akira Tozawa.
Okay, so it's Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Akira Tozawa. Okay. In what was a really good match with Tozawa damn near breaking his fracking neck with a senton from the ring apron onto Isaiah, which landed on all of his head. Just you could see it kind of going. You can even see Tozawa kind of going. Pure fucking.
Yeah. Who would have thought that having a finisher where you just launch yourself off the top rope back first at the person you're looking at would be a bad thing?
But you see, it wasn't in the ring; it was outside the ring that he did it.
It's a terrible idea. It's kind of like it's. You see Darby Allin do it as well, and I'm kind of like, if you just sidestep, it's all kinds of bad for the other guy. Yeah,
people have done that before. There was one bad botch during the match.
Lance
Not like
Archer
bad,
catches you
bad
mid-air
visible.
and just
throws you into a post. Yep. There was one kind of botch during the match when on the outside, Isaiah Scott tried to do a Hurricane Rana on Tozawa, who was on the ring apron. His feet, it was like Tozawa looked at his feet and just kind of went, I should jump now.
That's how good Isaiah Swerve Scott is. It's like the sheer gravitational pull of his flip will drag you into it.
Oh yeah. Overall, a good match, despite Tozawa damn near breaking his own fracking neck, which saw him taking the victory.
I was actually very surprised. I was very surprised at that. Although not also because I don't think they have cruiserweight ambitions for Isaiah Swerve Scott, to be honest.
Well, no, don't forget the layout of the tournament. It's not a knockout tournament. They all fight each other, so its victories count as opposed to straight through.
Just
so that could be his one loss and then wins all the others.
What I meant.
I don't know.
Next.
Anyway, up next we got the backstory of Keith Lee, inspirational story that it was, which was followed on by another somewhat inspirational story as Tegan Knox took on Raquel Gonzalez as escorted down to the ring by Dakota Kai, and Tegan Knox was getting the hockey and crap kicked out of her for a lot of the match.
Raquel Gonzalez is a large lass.
Yes, she is.
She's what they call man size. She's like 6 foot something.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call her man size. That's not the term that I would use in any way, shape, or form.
I'm not saying that she looks like a man, and I'm not referring to her frame being shapely like a man. I am just saying that she's 6 foot and 100 and whatever pounds, which is man size.
And the match with her against that ninja chick, fucking Ken Zaro or whatever.
Yeah,
you're the one for American Ninja. When the ninja chick went to grab Gonzalez's leg to hook it for a pin, Gonzalez's leg was nearly as thick as the ninja chick, and not like in a bad way. I'm just saying it was weird. I won't
call her man size things you didn't like. Kind of more appropriately, she's Amazonian size. Yeah.
Yes.
Like if she decides to smash you with snoo, there is nothing you can do about it.
You're getting smashed.
Death by snoo. Yay.
Anyway, during the course of the match.
Yay. No.
Yay. Anyway, during the course of the match, Dakota Kai would get involved, as at one point Tegan Knox was hung up in the corner. Dakota Kai came in and kicked her straight in the face, which, funnily enough, brought down Shotzi Blackheart to punt kick Dakota Kai straight in the face, slap her upside the back of the helmet with her, or back of the head with her helmet, and then declare, "Who's your daddy?"
I love her. There's a push and a half for her, man. I'm telling you, you don't get a tank without a push happening.
Yeah. So Gonzalez tries to grab onto Shotzi, and unfortunately, when she was distracted, it allowed Tegan to get in and hook her and roll her and get the victory. So Tegan Knox beats Raquel Gonzalez, and for next week, we're going to have Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart teaming against Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai. Yes, please, all the fun.
Oh,
this is going to be great.
I
cannot wait.
They both come down in tanks.
Shotzi driving the tank and Tegan standing on the end of it, just standing on it.
You can do that. They're not the biggest tank.
They'd figure a way.
Make a bigger tank.
It's wide enough.
You're after saving $4 million a month, WWE. Buy a bigger tank.
I'm pretty sure the tank they got Shotzi is like actually a kiddie's tank that they probably got in Toys R Us.
Adorable, but for the sake and purposes of Tegan Knox not snapping the tank clean in half, diving down the ramp and breaking her neck, maybe you get a bigger tank.
Maybe. Up next, Velveteen Dream has been waiting all night long to have a one-on-one, face-to-face confrontation with Adam Cole. Unfortunately, Adam Cole could not give a fuck, so he's sitting poolside at home saying how, of course he's not going to be there. He's got better things to do. He couldn't give a schnit about Velveteen Dream. at all in any way, shape, or form. Which takes off Velveteen. He comes out, starts calling Adam Cole a cowardly crap. And talking about, that was it. Who was it that brought up the notion of Adam Cole being the best champ? Oh yeah, Velveteen did.
I won't lie to you, man. And it's not just because I'm a Undisputed Era mark. I can't disagree with Cole. Because it's like, you were in the North American Championship picture, and then you buggered off, and then you came back, and now you think you can have the main championship picture. And that's not how it works, dude. It doesn't matter how many of my buddies you beat up. Currently, I have no challengers, so I'm going to sit poolside and chill the bean.
So anyway, Velveteen mentioned, it was Velveteen that called Cole the greatest, or referred to Cole as the greatest champ, or something like that. But point is, it done ticked off Finn Balor. Who came out
you also missed a match.
Had one.
By the way. Oh, okay.
No, I'm going back to the match.
To Hootie Miles? Okay, right. I was because this happened after the match.
I know, but like I don't have numbers next to my stuff, so
no worries.
Okay, that's fine. As best that I can. Don't worry, I'll never miss a match. Anyway, speaking of stuff, so yeah. This sets up a match between Velveteen Dream and Finn Balor next week, where apparently Velveteen Dream is looking for a date around 7-ish. So, Balor's going to come along.
How convenient. That's when NXT starts.
9. Funnily enough.
Wow. It's amazing how things work out so well. We're actually going to have to start rolling through these pretty soon.
Okay, so Dexter Lumis then take on Tahuti Miles.
Yeah, he serial killer
Tahuti
like
Miles.
All that serial killer stuff that he does, he did it. It was great. I was like, yay!
Yeah. We had an IndyCar promo where once again we were being told how awesome they are.
We're very big and we're very large, and you can all go bugger off. Yeah.
The last match was Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong taking on Matt Riddle and his mystery partner, who Pete Dunne would eventually. What? Yeah. Anyway, Riddle and his mystery partner, who Pete Dunne would eventually reveal is going to be Timothy Thatcher, the longest reigning Evolved champion, who apparently is not the most fun-loving person, but oh my God, does he like to hurt people.
He used to be in Ring Camp. I was actually surprised he came out with Riddle. I hope they put him in with Imperium. Those are my end words on this segment.
Yeah, so this was fun. This was violent. This was Timothy Thatcher's debut as an NXT champion, which was kind of weird. But anyway, all the violence. Thatcher would end up picking up the victory, which means that himself and Riddle are now the NXT Tag Team Champions moving forward until Pete Dunne is allowed back into the country.
So the guys who were in a temporary Tag Team Champion tag team essentially broke up due to coronavirus relations and then re-won the titles as an even more temporarily put together tag team.
While the actual tag team...
Two great single stars should never beat a great tag team. It's very weird. Although, in saying that, Timothy Thatcher is as big as a fucking house.
Yeah. Finally, at NXT, we had Tommaso Ciampa addressing the Johnny Gargano situation, and he admitted that, fair enough, he's done with it all. Johnny Gargano, fucking Candice LeRae, he's done with the two of them. They won. They showed the world exactly what they are. He's ready to move on. He's done with all of this, and it's right about that time that someone hooks him around the waist, German suplexes him, and we hear the sounds of Tommaso Ciampa being killed in the background before a very sexy boot stands next to his head. And then a very angry-looking man gets right down, looks like he's about to lick the back of Ciampa's face, looks up, and we reveal Killer Cross saying "tick-tock." So I guess we know Ciampa's new feud is with.
Obviously Killer Cross's missus.
Yes.
Scarlett Bordeaux. Although I can't remember her name in NXT. Because her name originally is way better. Anyway, do you want to cue up some music?
Yeah, so with that in mind, and since it was Timothy Thatcher's debut, we thought we would go with the best music we could for him, which isn't Ring Camp.
Although it's a pretty tasty remix of the Ring Camp music.
We'll leave it off. His MLW theme song, The Lonesome. welcome back. That was Timothy Thatcher's theme music from MLW. His theme music from MLW called The Lonesome Boatman because he premiered in NXT this week and absolutely killed Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong to fucking grab fucking
we've
belly
never
belly
found out how
throws and
much
huff them all
fish he
over
can
the place.
fry.
No. Anyway, on to AEW this week, and once again it opens up with goddamn Jake the Snake Roberts doing a goddamn awesome fucking deep fucking promo and just talking up how Lance Archer was made for this violent shit and this tournament is his and all the rest of you are
It's funny
done.
because you actually don't need you don't need Jake there for Jake to be effective in his role. Do you know what I mean? He's great. He's absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Then we had a bit of a kind of, I suppose, a bit of kind of Colt Cabana kind of talking himself up for the tournament as well, because we're going to be starting off with the first round of the. Well, is it a first round?
No, this is the second round, I think. Because wasn't it?
No, it's part of the. No, this is part of the first round as well.
So Lance Archer's had 2 first round matches.
Their tournament got. No, because this is the first time he's in the tournament. The other 2 matches he had, they weren't tournament matches.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it is. Due to the TNT title tournament being unfortunately cut down dramatically over recent weeks, it is difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to keep track of things. But needless to say, this is Lance Archer's first match in the tournament. He's taking on Colt Cabana, also his first match in the tournament, and this is an elimination tournament.
You said it wrong. You forgot.
No, his name is Colt. Jesus H. Nancy Christ. No, I didn't. His name is Colt Cabana. Anyway, this match was really good. And it wasn't just Lance Archer throwing somebody around because Colt Cabana was able to put on some offense.
Well, you see, it's been proven over the years that kind of not unlike I can't remember his name from New Japan, Tanahashi. His comedy stylings can be quite distractionary while trying to wrestle a conventional I'm a big guy who murders people style match, which is what happened here a little bit.
Yeah, because Archer is a big guy who likes to murder people.
Colt Cabana is the comedy, adorable wrestling equivalent of the Joker, where he's got so many tricks up his sleeve to just throw you off the scent of what's going on that he's able to get his the wool over your eyes occasionally.
Yeah, true, but he's also a big enough guy that he can pick you up and throw you every now and then. Dude. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, Lance Archer would prove to be just too vicious and violent.
Yeah, and he is a small dude compared to Lance Archer.
Inverted.
In fairness.
Height-wise. I think height-wise more. Anyway, Archer would take the victory there. Next up was a Britt Baker promo. So Britt Baker got her nose kind of bust last week by Hikaru Shida, who is in the crowd watching the matches this week. Interestingly enough.
Crazy Britt Baker came out.
So we liked it. Yeah. We get a promo where she's on about, role models and how sometimes role models don't do what we want them to do, but she's just going to do what it takes to win and all the rest of it. So that's fine. And then she takes on Cassandra Golden, who was last seen being beaten.
This is
in her debut match against Hikaru Shida. Yeah, I know. So, Britt Baker kind of briefly got in Hikaru Shida's face, kind of a more, watch what I do to this one kind of a thing. And it made short work of Cassandra Golden. And
she grabbed a lot of teeth. That's what I'm going to say. She grabbed a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also put a promo earlier in the night where she was doing her whole dentist thing in front of the board, dressed like a dentist, which was nice. Oh, I thought
that's what I was just talking about before the match. I was just
reaffirming.
Britt Baker promo where she came out talking about what heroes should be like, but sometimes heroes don't do what we want.
In the dentistry outfit.
I said Britt Baker promo.
I was just people who haven't seen the show don't know what's in the promo visually. I was just pointing it out.
Anyway, throughout the course of the night, we have various different celebs and wrestlers and people giving their opinions on the upcoming no crowd, no one else around Moxley versus Hager.
Very kind of
kill each other match.
MMA boxing sports style thing where it's like a little chat with the coaches and a little chat with this, whereas instead of that it was like a little chat with some of Hager's friends, a little chat with one or two Moxley peeps. Mostly Hager people.
Yeah, so we had that kind of interspersed throughout the night, which breaks up things like Shug D or Pineapple Pete, as thanks to Chris Jericho, he is now officially. Did you see? And I did get a picture for that one. AEW actually have got Pineapple Pete.
Dude, I love
his thing above it.
That has been a running gag with AEW stuff since Hangman Page started doing it. People who are unaware of it pay very close attention to the name bars to come up with people, because there's some comedy gold written into people's name bars sometimes. It's absolutely brilliant. Like Hangman Page is one. It's just hanging around doing cowboy shit for ages. I was like, yeah, I can get that, man. I can get that.
Guevara had something as well. Oh yeah, not Brandy's favorite. That was it. But so it's Shug D or Pineapple Pete, as Jericho insists on calling him. Because it became the thing.
Would you rather?
I'm sorry, dude, but your name is about to get changed. Would you rather have Pineapple Pete?
Some people know you as Shug D, or would you rather have everybody know you as Pineapple Pete? Or should I say everybody know you as Pineapple Pete?
So, the vast majority of this match was just Sammy Guevara kind of Shug D tries to do some fun comedy stuff, and Guevara shuts him down and has a laugh.
This is actually, I think this is a slight turning point for Sammy, because if you look at Sammy's downfall over the last couple of weeks, you and I and Buzz have all discussed this, that it's Sammy starts playing to the crowd too much, and he starts showing off, and he starts doing fucking thumbs up selfie backflips and things like that, and it's always to his detriment, where the guys end up getting him. This was a much more focused, much more aggressive Sammy Guevara. Even with he didn't even finish him with a flippity doodah. He just kicked him in the face.
No, kneed him in the face, and he went up for a knee to the face, which I feel Shug D's head impacted with Guevara's balls a bit. Because you could see when Sammy came down, he was kind of like, I think he partially crotched himself with Shug D's head. It was a knee. It was just like, oh. You could see Sammy kind of like limping, so I'd say he kind of half crotched himself on the side of Shug D's head. But he takes the victory, grabs a mic, starts talking shit about fucking Darby Allin, starts fucking stomping on Shug D a la Daniel Bryan, and then Darby Allin comes down to scare him off. So clearly that's a thing that's going to be happening.
Well, they're next week in the tournament. That's what that whole kerfuffle is in relation to. Outside of the fact the two of them hate each other anyway. Kayfabe.
Yeah, because there was the whole skateboard to the throat incident.
He still can't talk. He's just burning shit in black and white.
No, he just doesn't talk. I don't think he can't. I think at this stage, just like, I don't want to.
He wasn't much of a talker in the first place, to be honest.
Which I get. Yeah. Okay, next up we had Kip Sabian as accompanied by Peanut O Ford, along with Chucky T as accompanied by freshly squeezed
do you even know what
Orange Cassidy.
Half-Baked?
Yeah, of course I do. Broken Lizards Club Dread.
Club Dread? I thought it was fucking Half-Baked. Sorry. Yeah, it is Club Dread. Same dude.
No, it's from Club Dread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's looking and he's like, what the lovely name. Pinalo. What are you? I'm a gymnast. Thank you.
Oh.
Convinced she's a serial killer, and then it's, you're a gymnast? Thank you. Anyway, what was I saying? Fuck.
You were saying Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford came down to the ring.
Yeah. So Kip Sabian is taking on Chucky T in what is
it's a cracker
actually
of
a really good match. With little bits of interference from Penelope. She gets up on the side of the ring. She shows off her sexy wares.
Don't you forget that
then he gets up.
Orange Cassidy's equally sexy.
Bear with me, right? Shh, dude. I was trying to say, she gets up on the ring apron. She shows off her sexy wares. Then Orange Cassidy decides to interfere by getting on the ring and showing off his sexy wares. I loved where he was up on the ring apron and just kind of goes, with the little bite of the finger. And you can hear Jericho even going, look at him being all coy. It's just like,
he's a sexy minx, that Orange Cassidy. Even I was like, oh, suit you, sir.
Now, the difference is Orange Cassidy didn't kick Kip Sabian a few times on the outside. Penelope fucking did a lot whenever Chucky T was on the outside.
As much as Sabian.
Yeah. In fact, when Orange Cassidy did eventually interfere, he ended up getting waylaid by Kip Sabian's buddy, Jimmy Havoc, who was on the outside, which... more violence. So this is fun.
I like the logic
eventually
of
take the
they're
victory.
kind of like a faction now. Why is that? Oh, they all live together. Oh, okay. Works for me.
Okay. Yeah. It's factions have been formed from less and made way less.
I was
sense,
like, we all wear a lot of black. We look
honest.
heavy metal as fuck, and we all have the same apartment. Win. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So Kip Sabian and his best friends, Penelope Ford and Jimmy Havoc. I'm not going to insult Jimmy Havoc.
I would not do that
my head
at all.
Yeah.
He's in stapling vicinity of us quite regularly. Like,
I imagine we should be seeing the best friends versus Havoc and Sabian at some point in the not too distant future. Up next, Justin Law made his debut against Sean Spears, much as it was, as Sean Spears killed him.
Murdered this poor young man.
Record time. Yeah. What a debut. Yeah. What a debut. Then we got the Bubbly Bunch.
This was great, I have to say. These guys are just so inventive at finding little ways of keeping people entertained while all of this bullshit is going on, and just keep as evil a faction. And it doesn't take away from their credibility as a faction that they keep doing these little comedy bits.
No,
this was brilliant. Great.
Oh my God, it was
good.
Fantastic. You had basically a conference call between the inner circle with the whole fucking Brady Bunch start, and it's Santana and it's Ortiz and it's Sammy, and they're talking about Moxley versus Hager, and then Hager's there and Jericho's there, and they're all discussing things. And I loved when Hager's getting serious. Hager's kids are there. When he's getting serious, just like, earmuffs kids, I'm going to kick this shit out of John Moxley.
I love that. I can't remember. That's from
fantastic.
An Anchorman movie, I think. The earmuffs thing.
I don't know. Also, I did think it was hilarious when Jericho's on the phone and he's pouring out his orange juice, and it goes all over the place, and then they pan back out and there's no orange juice on the counter at all.
That was 100% intentional. Sorry guys, I gotta go. My assistant's calling me. Have you found any goddamn toilet paper?
Get me more toilet. It was brilliant, absolutely fucking hilarious.
Absolutely, it was actually like a perfect comedy promo. Like, it was so good. It was the same as the Vanguard thing. It had so many little elements that all added up to the big cumulative joke at the end. It was just perfectly done. It was a 6-star promo.
Yeah, and and bear in mind that there are times when that kind of thing I'm not into at all. But no, I
usually lap it up like a cat at Christmas.
Like I said, it's not usually my kind of thing. If they impressed me, they did it well. Finally, we had the no-holds-barred match between Jake Hager and Le Champion. Oh, can't call him that. The champ, John Moxley. And as called by Jim Ross.
It was nice, dude. Awesome, I think it was also, in a weird little way, it was kind of AEW letting everyone know Jim's doing okay. It's all fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Once again, and I mentioned this earlier, we did have Tony kind of talking up Jim's book and saying, you can buy that. And you did have the lads talking up other people's merch and doing what we were discussing at the start of the show. And like you said, to have JR, whether they sent him the match and he did his voiceover or not,
I would imagine he did like we used to do with DPW, whereas because everything's been shot in advance now. So for that week that we were commentators for DPW, we've done a lot, but not for long.
Story of my life, dude. Story of my life. I did a lot. I just didn't get to do it for that long.
This was genuinely a treat to have JR. And I have to say, the fact that it was pre-recorded and he was obviously able to edit bits around and do a little retake here and there there was a level of tightness to his commentating that hasn't been there in recent weeks live.
Also, don't forget though, there's a difference between building a rhythm and going smoothly on your own and trying to do stuff on a team, because you get a rhythm going. It happens sometimes. You get and like even two. I mean, me and you end up interrupting each other half the time and losing track of whatever the fuck one of us is going on about. Usually me.
And I like watching that little vein in your head do that thing.
Anyway,
like now.
Yes, like now. But as I said, it can, that rhythm, that might have actually, there might not have been any takes. That might have just been, once you get that natural rhythm going and you're in the flow and there isn't any.
Quite possibly. I did notice there was one stage where kind of like his tone had drastically shifted between one little bit and another, and I felt like he'd.
That's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Don't get me wrong, for the love of God, JR.
What we did get was
don't pick me up as if I was saying that this had to be done. Like, I love your commentary all the time, but it was just this was a very very acutely on point thing. Now, as you said, I quite agree with you. It could literally have been the fact he didn't have any diversionary conversation going on either side of him either. So,
this match was really good. We got the first, I want to say, 5-6 minutes in the ring. And being almost like a technical ground
it was actually
game
quite
back
MMA
and
based
forth.
Initially. Yeah, because they made it.
Yeah,
a lot of the promos with Moxley over the last couple of weeks, especially the video vignettes, have been very much pointing out the fact that Moxley's been training MMA as well. A lot of really cool looking leg picks and single leg takedowns and really nifty, really nice moves out of Hager. Transitioning from one thing to the other. It was really, and you don't see it with Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose particularly a lot in the day. The technical side of his wrestling palette.
Of course, eventually things would move to the outside where we had a mix of technical and violence. I love the figure four around the guardrail thing. That was
legit
great.
Painful. Like just because Hager's a lot of man to be pulling your leg, albeit a proper locked in figure four or not. Because don't get me wrong,
no, it was Moxley had it.
Oh, sorry, even Moxley's a big fucking dude to be pulling on legs. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're doing it down stairs, essentially.
And then, with the rating being used as a point of leverage versus.
This was actually, I was wondering how this was going
outside
to go, considering like you and I have been talking about how much the crowd being around ringside, albeit 10 or 15 people, has really added.
And that kind of brings me to what I was going to say. At one point you had JR commenting on, why are there guardrails and why are there chairs in an arena that is empty? Perhaps someone should have rethought that one. And then you're kind of going, no, JR, I'm pretty sure they thought one through pretty thoroughly.
I can answer this for you really quickly, JR. So they have stuff to hit each other with. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. But, this was a really nice, fun, impactful match.
Yeah, impactful is the exact word I would use.
Now, yes, once again, it could have done better if maybe they had a crowd there. But then again...
Oh, no, I wasn't. I don't think it needed the crowd. This was perfect.
What I was going to say was, if it had like proper stadium crowd, yes, it would have been better. But I don't think it would have worked with the few people, like the Gun Club and the lads and the others. I don't think that would have worked because there was too much rolling that went on around.
And this isn't taken away from... actually, I'm not going to put the Gargano Ciampa match in there, but unlike the Edge and Orton match, there was it wasn't just a lot of miscellaneous walking around. There was constantly some sort of action going on. Yeah,
there's a point to everything.
Because I did feel that Orton Edge match, there was just a lot of miscellaneous walking up hallways with a bit of hammering.
Yeah, but that's because they wanted to do something that sprawled over a building that was too fucking large. It's going to take us 5 minutes to get from spot A to spot B.
Especially considering you could have cut some of those hallway bits out, like it was all pre-recorded. But anyway, I digress. That's like slightly off topic.
Yeah. Hager and Moxley, like we said, good back and forth, good violence fest. In the end, the champ would be victorious just about after double arm DDTing Hager face first onto a chair. Haha. So yeah, this was a good match. This was good fun.
It was. We still have a couple of minutes to fill before we need to start rounding off.
Oh, okay. It's kind of hard because we're not in. I'm used to this being in a different setup, and I can actually. Yeah, but it's interesting to see that AEW. We know they've pre-taped all their stuff, so they're not allowed film.
Well, no, I think
they're done for the next.
Well, you see, the thing is, if you think about it, so in Florida with all of this stuff that's gone on, wrestling is essentially an essential service now, and Florida is where their original place that they were doing all the stuff in Tony Khan's Jaguars thing was.
Yeah, but there's a big fucking difference, right? And that difference is this. Part of why they did things the way they did it was for the safety of their talent.
Oh, I'm not. I don't think they're going to go back.
Going to say, dude. What I was going to say was, they have content filmed up for the next month or two. So it would be interesting to see if they go along and decide, okay, lads, we're going to schedule another
that's what they're
filming session.
Yeah,
and get another. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go back live. I know they were shut down where they were currently filming in the secret location because it isn't an essential service there. That's very much a Florida based.
Yeah. Now my point is that will probably do them a greater service than Vince's plan of having the 5 lads that he didn't fire appear live 3 nights a week. You know?
Yeah, oh no. I agree with you. Doing the blocks. I mean, like currently, there's nothing wrong with their pre-recorded shows.
And even more, like Vince, I don't think has fully realized. In fact, I'm only starting to think of it now. He proper shot himself in the foot for getting the fucking essential business thing put in, because now all those guys that have just been released, they don't have to wait 6 months. They might be getting a call in a month or two to say, "Hi, do you want to debut on the show?" Or, "Here, how about you come down and we film the next 6 months worth of stuff?" Because we've got
the thing with Vince was that it wasn't. He had to do it because what was slowly happening was they only have so many contractually allowed pre-recorded shows on their Fox contract, and if they,
So his first move should have been to turn around to Fox and say to whoever holds the contracts and say, "Lads, I think we can all agree this right now is extenuating circumstances, and as such, we need to renegotiate."
They'd want less money. And also, you have to take into account that they were supposed to be getting 3 million viewers and up since they went on Fox. That was what they guaranteed. And bar 1 or 2 times where The Rock or some other people had shown up, they have not hit those ratings at all once. And it might be, I think he's worried that Fox might try to just go, technically the contract's null and void now.
The point is, he should have whether that happened or not, whether that was going to happen, whether that potentiality was there or not, that should have been the first thing that happened. Not, I'm going to cut 90% of my roster. It should have been, I'm going to have a word with the lads that I'm supposed to be working with and doing business for, see if we can make sure that because the world is fucked, we can still do business. Anyway,
look, it's... I don't know. It's weird because I just think that Fox contract is just looming over his head that he had to.
Yeah. He didn't have to. He should have talked to Fox first, then made his decision. As it was, he made a knee-jerk decision that's potentially going to cost him his fucking empire in the long run. Anyway, that's about it for this week. As always, I'd like to thank everybody for listening in or watching us on YouTube. Haha. My thanks especially to Limerick City Community Radio, your city, your station, your voice, your willingness to let us pre-record this show and send it in and then put it on the web there. Yay.
What you got as the outro?
What
is it?
Oh, I hadn't gotten there yet. I was going to say myself and Johnny will, of course, be back. Actually, we're going to be doing a show tomorrow, but we're also going to be on Sunday night where we do our usual bit of Gorecast. And until then, we should be back same wrestling time, same wrestling station next week. And to play us out, we are going to go with, oh yeah, that's it, Lance Archer's theme song, Everybody Dies, because I have a feeling he might be on his way to becoming the new TNT champ. And it's heavy as metal.